Nearly 100 years ago, in December of 1923, the first version of the Equal Rights Amendment was introduced to Congress in an attempt to guarantee equal legal rights for all American citizens, regardless of sex.
49 years later, in 1972, Congress passed the ERA, sending it to state legislatures to be ratified as part of the U.S. Constitution. 38 states are required to sign on.
But it took until 2020 for that to actually happen. That's when Virginia's legislature voted in favor of that measure. However, that vote came after a 2019 deadline set by Congress for full ratification.
So now there are renewed calls by lawmakers to remove that deadline to allow the ERA to be enshrined in the Constitution.
Joining us now is Representative Jennifer McClellan, who voted to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment when she served in the Virginia State Senate in 2020. Now, this past November, she was elected to Congress and became the first Black woman to represent Virginia. Congresswoman McClellan, thank you so much for Morning Rush. We appreciate your time. And why did you vote for the ratification of the ERA, and what did it mean to have your state become the 38th state to ratify this amendment?
Well, thank you. Not only did I vote for the amendment, I led the charge in the Senate sponsoring the resolution to ratify the ERA because I thought it would be poetic justice for Virginia, the birthplace of American democracy, but also the birthplace of American slavery, to be the state to put the ERA over the top. We've been on the right and wrong side of history. It was time for us to be on the right side of this one.
And why do you think it took so long for us to reach that 38 state threshold, and how likely is it we could see the ERA pass in the near future?
Well, the ERA really stalled right as the Roe versus Wade, right as the fight over abortion access began. And what I saw is a lot of people, a lot of younger generations thought the ERA had already passed. And I think there needed to be some work to remind people, no, we still have work to do here to ensure equality under the law for women.
And we're still celebrating Women's History Month this week. And of the 12,506 people that have been elected to Congress since 1789, only 434 have been women, which is just over 3%. But the 118th Congress that you are now a part of has the highest proportion of women elected in our nation's history at 29%. Still a low number, though. So why is it important to have more women representing the country, and how long will it take us to get there? It seems like we're creeping along.
You know, we've heard since we were children, this is a government by, of, and for the people. That means only the people who participate are going to have their perspectives heard and their needs met. And that's why it's so important to have a Congress that reflects the full diversity of the country, particularly along gender. Having working moms in Congress assures that family-friendly policies are adopted to help working moms across the country is just one example. And it is going to take a while, but we've got to support women at all levels of government to really build that bench and support them financially and with our votes when they run.
And along that same conversation of representation, you are the first Black woman to represent Virginia in Congress. Will you talk about what that means to you to make that kind of history, given how long and extensive Virginia's history is, and what can we do to encourage more Black women specifically to enter politics?
You know, it's really incredible. It blows my mind we're still having firsts in 2023, but it is a tremendous responsibility to ensure I'm not the last, that I am supporting current and future generations of Black women leaders. And I think we need to get over an imagination gap that assumes if you don't have the exact same experience as a white man or even a white woman, that you're not ready. But we've done the work. The country has been built on the backs of Black women from the beginning. We're ready to take our place as leaders in our government.
And Congresswoman McClellan, since you're here, I do want to shift gears a little bit because you sit on the House Armed Services Committee, excuse me, and Science, Space, and Tech committees as well, both of which frequently handle issues related to China. So we know that Xi Jinping just spent the weekend meeting with Vladimir Putin of Russia. And so what concerns do you have about that meeting, and what are the implications, do you think, that will come out of this meeting recently?
You know, it is a concern and something we have been monitoring closely to see how involved China will become with the war in Ukraine in particular. We are a strategic competitor with China, and I think the Chinese government does understand that we're not going anywhere, they're not going anywhere. We have got to find ways to coexist and compete peacefully, and there could be ramifications for their economy if they go too far into an antagonistic relationship.
Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us on that, and happy Women's History Month. We would love to have you back anytime with us here on Morning Rush.
Thank you.